I'm Ruble Chandy, and welcome to Accelerator. How to accelerate your business, profit, and income, even in uncertain economic and sociological times. Who here has, who feel like your business hasn't grown anywhere near their big goals, their biggest goals yet? And if you feel that, type that in the chat. Who here feels that you're doing everything that you know, but not getting the acceleration that you really want or need? Who here believes that there is an enormous potential in your business and you feel stuck at your current level, whether you are starting out in business or doing a 7-figure business, and some of you guys are doing 8-figure businesses or more? You feel like you are stuck. You are at this level. You feel like this is where it is. And no matter what I do, it's not moving to the next level. So let me talk about my journey. And I'm going to share full on here. And I'm going to share something that none of you guys know already. At the age of 14, and one of my friends here might know a little bit about this. At the age of 14, I decided I wanted to be a monk. So I came from a Catholic background in India, and I wanted to be a Christian saint. Like, I didn't want to become a priest. I didn't want to marry. So I wanted to be a monk. And I started practicing and studying philosophy, reading the epics of Hinduism and study religion, different philosophies. And I went to this extreme journey in a sense that the predominant philosophy in front of me was Christianity. And I totally still appreciate that philosophy. At the same time, I went too extreme. For example, one of the philosophy is, if you have like 2 things, give one to your brother. Like, that's what Christ said. And in somewhere in this messaging, I heard that Christ saved our life by sacrificing. So you need to start sacrificing yourself. So I started learning that. I said, you know what? If I'm totally committed, then I need to bring suffering into my life consciously. So imagine there is no suffering in my life, and now I'm asking and seeking suffering in my life. So in order to supposedly purify my body, I started a journey of being a Puritan. So what does that mean? It means that I went to the 12th century and 15th century and looked at what these saints, like Saint Francis or Saint Augustine or Saint Anthony did, and then started practicing some extreme rituals. So I can give you one example. It's still weird for me to say that. Some of you guys know this, but it's still weird for me to say this. So I used to kneel down on glasses. Like, I will break glass and then kneel down on it and then pray for like hours. So when I stand up from there, what happens is I would have blood from my knee till my foot. So and a lot of things like this. So I'm not going to go deep into it, but you get the idea. Like, this is like really extreme. And I wouldn't listen to music. I wouldn't eat anything sugar. I wouldn't eat anything like no meat, no fish, no animal products, nothing. This is my life. And I lost almost half of my weight, and people could actually see my my rib cage. And then every time I'm meditating, praying, and doing all kind of stuff like this. So obviously, I was against money. So money is the root of all evil, obviously, right? So business people, anybody who's rich, they are evil people. So I was, I hated them. I said, you know what? I don't need money. There's no importance for money in my life. Fast forward, this story is some of you guys know already. 4th year of my college, and we were in a big financial challenge, and we had like around 20 current standards, around $30,000 debt in my family, and my father had to step away from my place because of some of these confusions. And this is my 4th year of college, and I am walking to church to go to, obviously I'm this extreme Christian extremist. And then I'm going to church every day. And then on the way to church, I'm realizing that I don't even have money for my bus fare. So I'm walking through this to this church, and I saw this homeless person. I'm walking by. I kind of weirdly smiled at him, and then I was a little bit sad. He picked that up and he asked me, "Hey, why are you so sad?" I said, "Nothing. Everything is fine." And he kept on asking me. When he asked me 3 times, and I told him, "I don't have money for my bus fare, and let alone college. I cannot complete the college for sure, but I don't even have money for my bus fare." That's like 25 cents, right? A quarter. I didn't have a quarter, right? So I don't have 25 cents for the bus fare, even lesser than that, actually. And he said, he took this cloth, this rag that he had in front of him. He took that cloth and just like pick it up and gave it to me and said, "Take whatever you want from this. I don't know how you're going to finish the college, but you can take as much money you want to have from this." And I actually took money from this homeless person. I took like 20 rupees. Today it's like 25 cents, 20 cents from this person. Used that to go to college that day. But that put me on the other side, as in, I don't want money anymore. Now I need to make money, some serious money. Money is the thing like that I need to be looking for. And that's what I should be looking for. Now it turned me into I should get into business. Maybe I should study business. And then immediately I started my first business. It was a construction company. And then second business, it was a trading type company. And by the age of 24, the bottom line is, instead of $30,000, I have $60,000 debt. Everybody with me so far? So type it in the chat if you guys hear me and you understand what I'm talking about. Okay, good. By age of 24, I have, instead of 30,000, I have 20,000. Instead of 30,000, I have $60,000 debt. One of the key reasons that I understood later was that half of me was totally, supposedly spiritual, hated money. Half of me loved money. Half of me want to serve people. Half of me want to take advantage of people because I need to survive. I need to start making money. Half the spiritual side of me want to, give to everybody. Why would I even charge a profit? Because it's evil to charge profit. That's what I was believing from that spiritual side. From the materialistic side, in order for me to survive, I need to have money. So if I need to have money, then I need to start doing some things that are probably not ethical too. Right? So this major conflict created a big gap in me, and that stopped me from succeeding. And my intentions were great. I was working hard. I was doing everything, but I did not succeed. Fast forward, I read hundreds and hundreds of books, several hundred books in productivity itself, several hundred books on business, in different aspects of business. And I started a business in Kuwait. It's called ITS, and Integrated Technology Services. And we partnered with a Kuwaiti. Me and my other partner, another Kuwaiti, started this business, became one of the top US Air Force contracting company in Kuwait, and started working with Kuwait and built that company. And I sold that business to my partners. And today it's a multi-million-dollar business. So that's when I moved to the US. When I moved to the US, I realized that, I shouldn't start a business here. I should start working. So I got into technology, became, fast forward, I became a technical manager for a company, quit my job at the age of 37 to help businesses grow, because I couldn't work on a job and help businesses to grow. So I quit my job, not having so much plans, but I just wanted to get out of it and start serving people. And 3 years later, I wrote 90 Days to Life. It became an international bestseller. And I helped, over this last 10 years, I have helped several businesses to grow from scratch to 1 million, 1 million to 10 million, and more in US dollars in different parts of the world. So right now we conduct seminars in different parts of the world. And now, beautifully, because of coronavirus, I am doing this event in an online format for the first time for you guys, And for those who are listening in the future, as a future to this program as an online program, we are doing this program for you in an online format. Awesome. So let me share about Misti's story. Misti came to me at $8.5 million in business. When 15 months later, she had $24 million business. So that is 18 months later. Linda came to me because she was in front of a person who was robbing a gas station. So somebody was robbing a gas station. She was at gunpoint at the age of 7. And 7 years later, at the age of 14, she was at gunpoint again in a different gas station. And she started thinking and believing that she's doing something to herself that is stopping her from succeeding, because somehow she's manifesting that. So she started feeling guilt and shame and everything else, and that stopped her from growing the business. I helped her to grow her business from $50,000 to $1 million in 9 months. The next story is our own Mujib. One of Mujib's businesses in Bahrain, Desert Side International, did $1 million US dollar business in 2019. Right? This is one of the newest stories that I'm sharing. Like on the first quarter of 2020, his company did $2.5 million. This particular company did $2.5 million already and expected to do $30 million by end of this year, based on those numbers. Finally, Harish. Harish also is in this group. Harish's business, PowerTech Enterprises, did around $400,000 in business in 2019. In 2020, January alone, he did $110,000. February, he did $160,000. By end of this month, he would have surpassed the annual revenue for entire last year. So that is my story. I try to be as less weird as possible, but you know what? Finally, this is a thing, part of me that I felt, oh my gosh, I shouldn't share this with the world. But you know what, screw it, I'm going to share it with the world, because I'm going to be honest with my journey, and people need to recognize my extreme stories of where I am, where I come from. And today I feel like I was never in the present. Either I was like 500 years before or like 100 years ahead, right? So I was never in the current time, if you understand what I mean by that. For those of who can understand that. So that's the point, guys. So thank you so much for trusting me to your guide. In some level, I always tell people who are very close to me, I'm not a business teacher. I'm not a business strategist. I'm not a business coach. I teach spirituality. I'm a spiritual teacher, but I pretend to be a business strategist. So I am a spiritual teacher who's pretending to be a business strategist. I know damn well how to help you grow your business. But the growth in your business is coming from who you become as a person, how integrated you are as a person. Because Gandhi did not go to Harvard Business School to get an MBA in marketing, but he was able to market almost half of this entire country called India to create a gigantic movement in that country. Martin Luther King did not learn how to do PR from Oxford, right? He was able to do this massive movement in the world because he was aligned. That's all you guys need. Once you are aligned, once you feel that you are aligned, there's nothing that is needed, because none of the strategies matter, because whatever you do, whatever you touch becomes gold. That's the invitation that I'm giving you today. Like, what do you want? For some of you, you want to start a company, you want to start building your company, or some of you want to scale your company. So I know some of you might have done this already in a different level, but I would like you to write it down still, like in that piece of paper. Like, what do you want from Accelerator? Okay, so yeah, write it down. So if anybody is not able to get that sheet of paper and not able to print it, take a piece of paper and write it down. What do you want from Accelerator? Imagine that you have this opportunity to ask for anything in your business. What would that be? I'm not going to give you that. You already have that. I'm going to show you that you already have that. Awesome. So briefly write it down. And those who are listening online, go ahead and pause the video and get that done. And why are you here? What are you looking for? Isn't it time that you actually get things done and help yourself and help the world? Isn't it time that you do something remarkable that you're born to do? Why are you here? And finally, what would make Accelerator a world-class experience for you? What would make Accelerator a world-class experience for you? And if you, by the way, if you're not able to write it and complete it, I would like you to go home and complete it and email it to me in the same email address. You could email directly to the email that you got it from, right? So just reply to all and or reply and send that to me. And question number 4 is, this is really important. I think this is a question that almost nobody asked. What stopped you from achieving your business goals last year? What stopped you from achieving your business goals last year? What stopped you from achieving your business goals last year? And finally, what would make this a world-class experience for you? Did I miss any question? What is your biggest audacious goal for this year? What is your biggest goal for this year? If you could, gather the courage to come up with a big goal, something that inspires you, what would that be? Beautiful. So here is what you could expect from these 90 days, guys. For your business, you will learn how to move your business to the next level. Everything that you need to grow your business to 8 figures or more is inside this accelerator. People have already done this. People have already done this with me privately. People have already done this through my seminars, and you are able to do this too. And if you're starting out, you could figure out a way to grow your business to 7 figures. That is for those who are outside of US, $1 million or more. And if you're already doing $1 million or more, you could start building it to a $10 million or more business. And if you're already doing 8 figures or 9 figures, 9 figures are very few people, but still there are people who are doing 9 figures. And if you're doing that, then it's time for you to start growing it to multiple 9 figures or multiple 8 figures, or moving from 8 to 9 figures. That is something that you're going to get. Also, you'll become a sales and marketing ninja. No matter where you go, because you care for people, not because you have this strategy and this clause or that clause, but because you are an authentic human being, you will become the next Martin Luther King or Gandhi of influence. Because when you become an influencer like that, nobody can stop you. That's what I'm talking about here. For your business, you will double your productivity in the next 30 days or less. Because one of the things that is stopping people from succeeding to the next level is because they are not productive. They are not productive at all. And now I'll show you exactly how to double your productivity. Even if you are hyper productive right now, I'll show you how to double your productivity in the next 30 days. Also in your business, you will have a framework to structure and automate your business. You will grow your profit by 33 to 100% in the next 12 months. If you're starting out, your growth could be much bigger, and you will learn how to double your sales volume. And also how to position your company for massive success, how to switch from operator to owner, and master the art and strategy of innovation. We have a formula for innovation that I'm going to teach you here. How to deliver world-class customer experience, how to recession-proof your business, and many more. Those are some of the things that you're going to get from this for your business. For you, you will be fully aligned with your life and your business's mission. This is a most important thing, guys. If you know this one thing, if you're fully aligned with who you are and with your business's mission is aligned with who you are, then 80% of the work is done already. Rest of it is just aligning some of the pieces. Also for you, the stories that were limiting you, this has been consistently my theme for the people who work with me. The stories that were limiting you today, will become your stories of courage, momentum, and inspiration. The very stories that are limiting you will become the stories of courage. Also for you, the voice in your head that limited or stopped you until right now will become your biggest supporter of your dreams. Imagine the darkness, same shadow, same thing that was stopping you yesterday. If it becomes your biggest supporter, how much growth can you have in your business? Again, one distinction can change your life. You will get at least 100 of them from Accelerator Online. And that's my promise to you. Also, you will install dozens of new empowering beliefs in your psychology. You will learn how to navigate through uncertainty with powerful smile. And I literally mean it. And those who know me personally know that that has been my life. Learn how to convert your fear into power. Learn how to heal your money wounds. If you have any negative association with money, we're going to eliminate that so you can attract, well, what is the best? I mean, I'm the best person to learn that from because I had that the most when I was 14, 15, up to 19. Now that I think about my entire teenage was this journey. And some of you who are already here, they know this story. And if you take initiative in this workshop, I'll do a live intervention for you, which I have been doing for my live events all the time, where you can leap 10 years forward in 1 hour. Okay, again, you will eliminate fear of failure in your business, eliminate fear of other people rejecting you in sales or marketing and other stuff. You will know exactly how to succeed in your business. You will learn to succeed in spite of any obstacles. You will overcome your limiting beliefs, and all the books you read so far, all the training and seminars you attended, no matter who did it and who did you do it with, all the education that you had, college or school or anywhere, and all of them were getting you prepared for this experience. And that's what we are going to do. In this 90 days, we are going to build 3 super habits for you. So I'll explain what a super habit is, and let's call it a habit for now. You're going to start building 3 habits, because first month we'll build a habit, second month we will build a habit, third month we will build a habit. So, and I would help you build it as a habit cluster, and I'm going to explain what a habit cluster is. But these 3 habits by itself could transform your business to the next level. And I'll teach you how to learn in the level 5 learning. So I'm going to talk about level 5 learning in a second. So what level 5 learning is, level 1 learning is when this kid, she is like, let's say 4 years old. 4 years old, she doesn't know that she doesn't know how to drive. Yeah. So that is a level 1 of learning. Like you don't know that you don't know. Make sense? Please type on the chat if you guys got that. Like she doesn't know that she doesn't know. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So the next level is she, like by the time she's like 11, 12, 13, or maybe 8 or 7, she start to know that, oh, I don't know how to drive. That is conscious incompetence. So the incompetence is not knowing how to drive. Yeah. But she's conscious. She knows that she doesn't know. That's the second level of learning. The third level of learning is she's 16, she's starting to drive. And some of you have kids, you can relate with that. Like when you have kids, like they would start to drive, and they're like too focused into driving, and they're holding their steering wheel, and they're like thinking, oh my gosh, I cannot do this, especially if it's a shift gear. It's very difficult for me. Oh, I need to change the gear, and then I need to look here, and then I need to make sure that the lady who's crossing, she'll be able to cross. I need to press the brake. That's conscious competence. You're conscious, you're competent, but you're conscious. Yeah, you are aware that, but it's not complete. Learning is not complete. The next level of learning is level 4 learning. Level 4 learning is where you are driving, like wherever you drove today. You drove for like 1 hour probably, or 30 minutes probably, and you are not aware at all. Like you are not even paying attention. You just started driving, and then maybe you are listening to music or radio or something, and you reached there. You didn't pay attention to changing the gear, or you didn't pay attention to how many times I pressed on the brake, or how many times I did this or that. Nothing, right? So you have mastered it in a mental level. In a mental level, you mastered it. That's level 4 learning. So far, people spoke about these 4 levels of learning. But what we are going to do here is level 5 learning, which is you learn in your soul, you learn in your heart what we are teaching here. In your heart, you learn that, and it makes sense to you. This is what Gandhi had. This is what Martin Luther King had. This is what Lincoln had. This is where transformation happened in a completely different level, right? So now, once you have level 5 learning, your soul is learning, right? So it is not a mechanical thing that you know anymore. This is like your heart and your soul is aligned with this learning. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay, beautiful. Bhavana says beautiful. Thank you. Shitsu says love the visual. Mujib, yes, thank you. Thank you, guys. Awesome. So that is one thing that we're going to do. So in terms of 12 weeks, first month, we are going to focus on you. And this will be the most deep and powerful experience that you ever had with anybody in terms of personal development. If you had a chance to meet with Jesus or somebody, like I cannot, compete with that. But other than meeting a mystic, okay, other than any mystic, like this would be the best self-development that is available in the world today, right? So that, because the stuff I had to go through, the experience that I had to go through, I had to go to the one extreme and go to the other extreme, and all those experiences had helped me, and thousands of books and my own mentors. We have the best of the best system for the first month. And once you're integrated, even before you go into other stuff, you don't need to study any of the other stuff, and you will still be fine. If you just have a complete integrated mind, you don't need to be complete. A 90+% integrated mind, that's enough for you, right? Like I said, Gandhi did not go to Harvard Business School to study MBA, right? But he was integrated. He was aligned to what he wanted to do, and that's why he was able to move to the next level. Sounds good? Next, second month, your business is accelerated. So I'll be teaching you all the strategies, all the most powerful strategies that I know that is going to help us move to the next level. Okay, Vibin says the concept of level 5 learning is simply superb. Thank you, Vibin. Awesome. Third month, your business is scaled. So we are taking 3 months, it's 90 days, just like 90 days to life. We are going to cover everything in the book and everything that is the super most important things. And we are going to talk about scaling on month number 3. Okay. So again, I'm going to deliver 10 to 100 times value of what you paid for, even if you are my highly premium paid coaching client. Right, so I am committed to delivering at least 10 times more value, and my goal is to deliver 1,000. Okay, so will you participate fully? So put that in the comment if you will participate fully and bring your 100% or more into it. Awesome. All right. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Here's what I expect from you. Attend all the trainings live. And some of you guys are like really very successful business people. Thank you. Thank you all for participating, on that and showing your commitment. Awesome. Thank you. So attend all the trainings live. And due to some reason, if you're not able to attend, we would pause that. We would either send you the link, even if the membership site is not ready, we'll send you the link as soon as possible. So watch the training within 24 hours so that you don't lag for the Friday call. So when you come back to the Friday call, you need to be ready, completed, finished. Thank you, James. I appreciate that. 10,000%. I love it. And each of you who are listening, this is recorded on a live session for some of my premium clients. And those who are doing it online, even if I'm not there, if you see a comment box right there and let me know that you are 100%, 1,000%, 1,000% committed to it. Okay, so attend the training live. As much as you can. If you miss it, watch it within 24 hours. My team will send you an email with the link as soon as the recording is processed, even if it is not edited, but it will be posted to the membership site really soon after. Read 2 chapters of my book every week. This is very simple. It's a fun book written for children, and a few of you have read the book already, but if any of you don't have my book, I'd be happy to, if you are internationally, I might not be able to get the book really fast. And anybody here in the US, you don't have, I mean, even if it's in the US, Amazon has to, reduced delivery right now. So I could send you an electronic book to anybody who haven't gotten a book yet. We'll be happy to. And those who are listening online, contact my team, and they will be happy to send you the book. Okay. Yeah, Lisa, your book is on the way. It is being delayed. Okay, beautiful. Next, please overdo the simple assignments. I'm going to make it very simple for you. So overdo it, overcommit to it, bring your best into it as if this is your business, right? And finally, implement one idea, just one idea from each week within 24 hours. So from what we are learning today, implement one idea, just one idea. Even if you get like 17 ideas, just one idea within 24 hours in your business. Awesome. So how to 10x your business? Growth strategy number 1. So I'm going to talk about some big picture ideas here right now, since this is welcome call. And what I have learned to be the most powerful things after working with dozens of businesses and, hundreds of people over the years and helping them with the most complex problems that they ever face. When they face like really complex problems, secretly, people send them to me, because there is an inner tribe of people who know that no matter what happens, no matter how complicated situations are, I am able to serve them, help them. So there is a community of people who send me people who have the most complex problems in their lives. And I love complex problems because they are the most fun ones, right? So what I have seen in my own experience, in my own life, in my own complexity of life, is that alignment is the number one thing that could take your business to the next level. Alignment. And alignment, I am going to go deep into this on next week's session, on week 1 session, but I'm going to give you a preview of it. So imagine that you have a Ferrari. This is Ferrari LaFerrari. How many of you know that Ferrari had a car like this? Okay, so they produce, I don't know, 300. Abhay, you might know this. Around 300 Ferrari LaFerraris every year, and they don't produce more than that. And imagine that you are this Ferrari LaFerrari. Okay, and then if the wheels of this Ferrari is like in one of this wheel is in one direction, another wheel is in another direction, another wheel is in another direction, another wheel is in another direction. Does that matter? It's $3 million freaking car. It's $3 million approximately. And then, as it gets older, the cost gets more and more because it's a collectible thing. So you spend $3 million on this thing, and then just everything else is fine. The engine is fine. The shape is fine. The mirror is fine. The starter is good. The steering wheel is good. The brake is good. The accelerator is good. The clutch is good. The gear is good. But the wheels are not aligned. So if the wheels are not aligned, is it going to go like 150 miles per hour, or is it going to go like 10 miles per hour? Does that make sense? This is what we need. We as a species are bombarded with information, some cultural information, sociological information. Bhavana says will not go anywhere. Religious information, ritualistic information, superstitions, confusions, education. All this information is in our head, and education is putting us in one way, the science is putting us in another way, spirituality is putting us in one way, religion is putting us in another way, or atheism is putting us in a different way. So as a species, we are more confused than ever. And especially when we have challenges, this confusion goes deeper. That's why we're going to get into alignment. So that's why we are going to get deep into alignment on the first week itself. Because once we have that taken care of, things are going to move so much faster for you. And those of you who are my private clients, you already know I worked with you privately on this alignment things, and that dramatically changed your business immediately right after that, right? So that's exactly the gift that I'm going to give you on week 1, and start to be aware of it. Like, where am I? Like, by the time I finish a sentence, I'm saying the opposite. Like, I want to make $1 million, but I don't want to work. I want to make, I want to be a billionaire, but too much money is, bad anyways. Do you understand how conflicting our thoughts are? By the time we say something, in that sentence itself, we are saying something opposite. Why? It is a symptom. It's a symptom of the tires being misaligned. Okay, moving on. The second thing to scale your business by 10 times, become a super adapter. Become a super adapter. So super adapter is this person. For example, I always use the example of Blockbuster versus Netflix. And we will get deeper into that example itself. But Blockbuster was a $10 billion company, and Netflix was like really tiny. And Netflix went to Blockbuster and said, "Hey, can you buy us out? Just pay us $50 million. And Blockbuster said, "Screw you. Why would I buy you? You're just a shipping type, CD shipping company. I don't need to buy you." And they didn't buy Netflix. And Netflix was short of cash at the time, obviously. And then Blockbuster didn't buy. Now Blockbuster we have one Blockbuster in the world or something for, I don't know, for people to visit. There was a store like this, right? So what happened? They didn't even adapt when the market changed. That is not even adapting. But when market change, you can adapt. That is adapting. That's beautiful. Okay, that's very good. But super adapters are adapting to the future, like water, for example. Like, think about water. Like water is trying to flow to ocean, always trying to flow to ocean. So the water is flowing. All of a sudden, it sees a rock. Is the water going to say, "Oh my gosh, I had a really bad childhood as hydrogen and oxygen, and my parents, my father was a hydrogen and my mom was an oxygen, and they abused me. They did this, and I'm seeing this rock in front of me. What kind of life is this?" Water doesn't do that. It just turns around and find a way and move to that side. And then it sees another rock. And it's not complaining, "Oh my gosh, look at this rock is so hot. The rock is so hot. Why can't God make the rock a little bit cool so I don't need to change temperature right now?" It doesn't do that. It just turned to the other side. And then there is a stick, and then there is a tree, and then there is something else, and there is a root. What water does is it just keep flowing and adapting to each and every situation. And that's my invitation for you. That's my invitation for you to be a super adapter. Like something happens, virus happens, economy is going to be a big challenge. And if you're listening later, maybe it's doing well, but right now we are going to have a major economic challenge, major economic challenge. But you know what? What can we do right now to adapt to this in advance? Because most people are going to be worried and tensed, and they are not going to focus on opportunities. And because of that, you could just do a little bit of adaptation right now, and you are ahead of the game, way ahead of the game. So here's the thing. The only thing that is constant is change. This is something that we need to understand as business people. The only thing that is constant is change. Change is the only thing that is certain. Nothing else is certain. Things are going to change. And if you know that things are going to change, and that is your normal for you, and then you learn that, things are going to change. I'm going to adapt to it. So what is a change today? How can I adapt to this change? How can I adapt to that change? How can I adapt to that change? And if you keep on asking that question, then you become a super adapter. So this is a fascinating metaphor that I like to use, which is polar bear. Polar bears were regular bears. They ended up being in a place where they have a lot of snow. And for a very, very long period, polar bears had brown hair, just like any other hair, brown or blackish hair. And it took them 100,000 years for them to adapt to the color of snow. It took them 100,000 years. So that is like maybe approximately 100,000 is, 1,000 to 2,000 times, or 1,000 to 1,500 times our entire lifespan. And if you are planning to adapt to change in 100,000 years, you're screwed big time. big time, right? So this is the lesson that we could learn. So imagine 100,000 years, polar bears were killed by sharks or whatever animals that eat them. For 100,000 years, in order for them to learn that, you know what, I need to adapt to this environment. And that's my invitation. Become a super adapter. There's nothing to be worried when you realize that change is the only thing that is certain. And once you know change is the only thing that is certain, you're excited for change because you know that change is going to happen and you're ready for it. In some deeper level, you feel excited. Oh, the change that I was talking about, it's happening now. You feel a sense of deeper excitement. So that is the first step, adapt to succeed. Second thing is learn to adapt. Learn to adapt. What can you do? Learn about adaptation. How did the species adapted? How did we evolve as a human species and things like that? So learn about adapting. And the final thing, which is what you're doing right now, is learn to learn. Learn to learn. Learn how to learn. Because adaptation in some level is a new learning. Like you're learning a new way of thinking. You're learning a new way of world order. You're learning a new way business is done. You're learning a new way customer is behaving. You're learning a new way marketing is done. You're learning a new way sales is done. So it's adaptation. It's learning about something. If that's the case, the best thing to do is to learn how to learn. Does that make sense? Please put your comments on your on the chat if that makes sense. So the highest leverage is learn to learn. And the next point that I want to cover is acclamation. Acclamation is a beautiful concept. Imagine that you went out on snow. You went out on snow and you're feeling so cold. It was so much cold. And you felt so cold. You had this really nice thick jacket, but you're feeling cold. But 10-15 minutes later, what happened? You're not cold anymore. You start to feel like excess temperature in your body. One, because your body's temperature is not going out through because of this jacket, but also your body is acclimating to it. So when I did this Puritan practices, like I told you a few minutes ago, when I used to stand on this, glasses, and for the first 10 minutes, I used to start feel pain, and pain is really, really excruciating. It was really deep pain. Okay, so imagine you have your whole body weight is on a glass, like broken glass, and then you're bleeding, and it's a graphic scene. This is an 18+ video right here, right? So after 10 minutes, your body gets used to it, and then you stop feeling pain after that. I don't know, it was so weird for me. I didn't study any of that at the time. I was only 14, 15, 16, but my pain went away just like that. Just like that, guys. When coronavirus happened, when world order shifts, when businesses shift, you will get acclimated to it if you are willing to stand out. If you're willing to do the uncomfortable, if you're willing to step out of your comfort zone and do what it takes to grow your business, that becomes your new norm. That's how you grow to the next level. That is acclamation. Make sense so far? And finally, the third thing, the ultimate tool to grow your business by 10 times is to master soul models. What are soul models? So soul model is a worldview in the soul level. In a soul level, you are experiencing the world. It is also your wisdom. So wisdom is another word for soul model. Like it's a blessing belief about what is. Like you believe that, oh, the world is going to be fine. Or it's a worldview as a blessing belief. And I'm going to explain what blessing belief in detail in one of these sessions. And it's a unique perspective. It's a blueprint. It's a shortcut geniuses use to navigate the world. So this soul model is the difference between victory and failure. And I'm going to get deeper into it. So self-made billionaire Charlie Munger calls them mental models. So, and he says, once you have 100 mental models, so I call them soul models, once you have, because I don't like the word mental models, It's not about the mind. We need to go past that. We need to go operate in our soul level. So once you have 100 soul models, then you are a genius in your field. So I'll be teaching you 51 mental models, soul models of world leaders and billionaires in the next 90 days, right? So, and anybody who's a teacher, and I know some of you guys are teachers who teach other people, anything that I teach you is open source unless I say otherwise. So what does that mean? You can go straight, take this, copy this, and then teach it to whoever you want to teach. Because I'm going to be here for for some more time, and I'm not going to be thinking like, people should not take my teaching and should not teach it. So I'm going to go operate from complete abundance. So anything that I teach here, implement in your business. You don't even need to give me credit. Just go ahead and use it as your own, but make sure that you are in integrity and alignment with yourself. But the point is that anything that I teach you, these are the best of the best content that is available out here. But you could share it with anybody that you want as your own. You could give me credit, completely up to you. But I want to operate from a complete abundance. Everybody with me so far? Yeah? Yes? Awesome. All right. So with that, I'm going to go into a really powerful mental model or soul model, what I call as 2000X model. 2000X model. So many of you guys are familiar with Pareto's Principle. If you guys are familiar with Pareto's Principle, it's also called 80-20 rule. Can you type in the chat if you're familiar with Pareto's Principle? Yes? No? Okay, some of you yes, some of you no. So Pareto's Principle is very simple. He was an Italian scientist, and he said, and some of you said no, so I'm going to briefly touch that. Thank you. So Pareto's Principle basically is that he, as an economist, he found out 80% of the wealth was with 20% of the people. And he also checked the garden and realized that 80% of the flowers were on 20% of the plants. And then he projected and experimented with that on different dimensions and came up with this principle called Pareto's Principle, which means 80% of result is given by 20% of input. So in other words, 80% of results are coming from 20% of actions. Yeah, many of you are familiar with that, and those who are not familiar, basically 80% of your pain come from 20% of your customers. 80% of your sales come from 20% of your salespeople. 80% of your relationship issues are with 20% of people. So it's true in multiple domains, but that's not what I'm going to talk about today. Let's derive that one more time. The engineers here, I know Abhay is engineers here. Let's derive it to one more level deep. If that is true, 64% of results are coming from 4% actions. Does that make sense? Anybody with me? Math guys, you got it so far? 64, because 80% of the 80% is 64, and 20% of the 20% of the 20% is 4%. So 64% of your results are coming from 4%. And if you bring it like 2 more levels down, you will realize that 50% of results come from 1% of actions, and 40% from 0.2%, and 30% results from 0.05% of actions. So what does that mean? And if you don't get the math, just don't worry about it. I'm going to explain it. Here is the powerful thing, guys. And if you didn't listen to anything so far, listen to this. From a list of 2,000 things you should be doing, there is one action that could give you 2,000x return on investment. I'll say that again. From a list of 2,000 things that you should be or you could be doing, there is one action that could give you 2,000 times return on investment. And of course, this workshop is one of those. It is a 2,000x action. And there are other things in your business that could give you 2,000 times return. You need to be seeking for those and finding those and implementing those. Make sense? Everybody with me so far? So look for those actions that could give you enormous outcome from doing the certain thing. Sounds good? Let's do. So from all that I learned, I have taken the 2000x that has the highest leverage to create an accelerated program. So in order for me to create this program, what I have done is I have taken the 2000. From that 2000, I have taken the only one, and I'm teaching you only that in this program. Yeah, that's what I'm doing in this program as well. And I come from that place too. So here is the thing. Archimedes said, give me a lever long enough and a fulcrum on which to place it, and I shall move the world. Right? So that's leverage. So you have 2000 times leverage. There are so many things that you could be doing, but there are certain things that could give you thousands of times of return, right? And that's what we're talking about. Let's do the opposite for a second. How do you know what action is? By end of this program, when you're aligned. And Shih Tzu is asking, how do you know what that one action is? And that's why you need to come every week, get aligned. Once you're aligned, you would know the right action to do it at the right time. Sounds good, Shih Tzu? Awesome. Let's do the opposite. From the list of 2000 things that you should not be doing, there is one action that is pulling you 2000 times back. There could be one habit. There could be, for me, this was like eating food whenever I wanted, right? So for us, there could be one habit that is actually, you're doing everything. You have everything in place. You have a great building plan and everything, but you're not building it because you have this tiny food habit, like eating sugar morning at like 7 a.m. So what is one thing that you're doing out of the 2000 things that you shouldn't be doing that is pulling you 2000 times backward? Make sense? So think about those two things. And I'm giving you a lot of things to think about today. Now, so that's it, guys. Any question? Like any question on that? Anybody? Any question on that? And I'll be happy to answer any of these questions on the chat. Any of those questions on Friday's call too. So this Friday I did a bonus call. You can come back and ask me questions on any of this, and I'll be happy to answer them. Okay, and getting into the final points, there is another mental model or soul model. Is the Pentagon model of your brain, this is nowhere. I mean, as far as I know, nobody is teaching this. I'm going to talk about the Pentagon model of your brain. You have 5 brains in your body, and it's weird, right? You have 5 brains in your body. You have a big brain, and on the left, you have a brain in front of your heart, and you have a brain in front of your gut, right? So think about it. Like the top brain, the big brain has the memory part of the brain, the rational or thinking brain. And then in the lower side, there is a limbic brain, which is the emotional and feeling brain. And there is a reptilian brain that is instructional, instinctual or dinosaur brain. So there are 3 brains in the big brain, and then there are 2 more brains. One in front of your heart. The brain in front of your heart has 36 million neurons. The brain in front of your gut has around 100 million neurons. So you are a creature with 5 brains. This will be a beautiful fact to share with somebody, unless you know this already. Okay. So what does that mean? So what does that mean is, I'm going to tell you something interesting. 90% of your serotonin is in your gut brain. If you're familiar with the term serotonin, if not, serotonin is a feel-good neurotransmitter, and 90% of your serotonin is in your gut brain. I didn't come up with these numbers. These are based on research studies. Around 50% of dopamine, which is considered to be a neurotransmitter for happiness, it is in your gut too. So your gut brain is in some level, not in terms of capacity, it's only 0.1%, but in terms of power, your gut brain in some level is much more powerful than your head brain. And you could study about this more advanced or ask me questions on this on Friday. But each brain, this is a key important point I want to cover as we conclude. Each brain wants a different outcome from any given situation. This is a weirdest part. Remember I talked about alignment before, right? Imagine like if you need to eat a broccoli, right? You want to eat somebody gave you broccoli, and if you guys don't have broccoli in your country, it's a vegetable, right? So let's go from like bottom. The gut brain says, oh, I'm going to feel good if I get some broccoli. I mean, not feel good. I'm going to be like, oh, I don't know. Okay, fine. The heart brain might be okay. I'm fine. Give me broccoli. Now, that's not it. Let's look at the reptilian brain or the emotional brain is going to be like, oh, I'm not going to feel good. What's the big deal? Why would I need to eat broccoli? It's not needed. The reptilian brain is like, give me some sugar. Or like some, steak or something, come on, broccoli, what the heck? The neocortex, the top part of your brain is like, oh yeah, if you eat broccoli, like 30 minutes from now, you're going to feel so good. And also your neocortex, which is the top part of your brain, will be saying 20 years from now, you're going to be so sexy and attractive and so good. And the emotional brain is, screw 20 years from now. I just want to eat like something else right now, which is a brownie, right? So if you're like, imagine you want to eat a brownie, like you have this brownie. I mean, this is a very good picture. You might be already feeling like you need to eat a brownie. And some of you guys are already in inside houses, not because of the crime, but because of coronavirus. You don't have an option to go get brownie either. Okay, so here's the thing. You see a brownie. What does each brain say? Completely different ideas. Let's examine the head brain itself. The head brain will be like, the neocortex will be like, oh, no, I'm going to be tired 15 minutes from now. The emotional brain is like, I'm going to feel so good. So this is going to be so exciting for me. Oh my gosh, this is good. The limbic brain is like, I don't want to even think about it. I just want to have it. I mean, it takes a bite and then it thinks. That's a crocodile, the dinosaur brain. I just want to eat and then I think about it. Why are we even having this discussion right now? What's the use of it? Does that make sense? But that's how our brain is. This is how we take business decisions too. And that's what we are going to attack. That's what we are going to align next week. Because we want to get these brains from the limbic, there are different representation, the prefrontal cortex to the limbic system, to the brain stem, to the heart brain, to the gut brain. We want to bring it all together into one aligned goal. And once that happens, no education is required. You will do the right thing, Shih Tzu. Remember you were asking me? How do I know the right action? You don't know the right action because one of your brain is telling you, you know what? Why do this? Just go and sleep for this day. Right? I want to feel good. I want to relax. You have been working, making me work hard for a long time. Go sleep. Another brain is like, let's watch Netflix. Another part is like, you know what? We need to study. Let's watch some TED videos. And you start watching TED videos. The emotional brain is like, oh, I'm too tired. Oh, I want to go to sleep. Right? Do you understand the power of it? That's what we are talking about. Okay? So finally, if you could align these 5 brains, 80% of the work will be done already. Right? And if you could align, we are going to be working on exactly that starting next week. That's why we are spending 1 month on you. So let me conclude today by sharing Ivy's story. Ivy came to me 10 years ago, and she came to me because not so while before that, she went to Jamaica for a vacation, and she was in a house, and that house was robbed, and she was raped by 4 men, and she believed that her stepmother, arranged that in some level because she was scared. She thought that this was her stepmother was trying to take advantage of her in some level, and she came to me like totally in misalignment, totally afraid, totally not knowing how to grow her business, not even like doing like her job or whatever she was doing at the time. Right? So I helped her to align, come out of that fear, come out of that pain, and come into alignment and help her build a 7-figure business today. So that, it took her some time. There could be some people for extreme situation. I knew only that much at the time too. This is 10 years later. And she didn't even have even remotely close to what I'm going to share with you in this 90 days. I didn't even know what remotely close to what I'm going to share with you in the next 90 days. So she was able to make a remarkable, breakthrough from what our interaction and grow her business to the next level. Right? I actually wrote my book. If you read my book, you know that it's a story. It's based on her and many of the clients that I worked with over the last 10 years. That's what my book is written on. It's a story based on each of these people who I helped without naming their names. Even Ivy's name is not real. welcome to your next level. And your assignment for next week is, for this week, is to fill that thing, the 5 questions that I asked you, and send it with me. And some people were asking me, Abhay was asking me, are you going to get the slides? Yes, slides are going to be uploaded into the membership site, and once the membership site is up and the video is ready, you will get it, and we could go from there. So that's the end of the welcome webinar. Thank you so much for playing fully now and for the next 90 days, guys.